Hey, good morning. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sharita, the Behavior and Literacy Strategist, coming at you from the Work Unlimited Growth Institute, where you can find solutions for all of your child's behavior, literacy, and math word problem challenges. Okay? I was initially focused on behavior and literacy. Why did I focus on that? Because literacy, when your children go to school, it's like 75% of their school day. And we get their behavior and literacy under control and growing, then it definitely has an impact on math because they develop growth habits already in the area of literacy. So that's what I focus on first. But moms were asking me to teach math. So since I still wanted to focus on literacy, I developed a math word problem class where I teach students how to read, understand, solve, and create math word problems. And of course, we're doing math too, because if you don't know how to do the math, that's going to hold you back from completing a word problem, even if you understand what they're asking you to. So we be holding it down and everything, right? So I got to get used to saying math word problem challenges, okay? So I have a good one for y'all today. I was on here yesterday talking about the top 6 reasons why my students are so successful. Okay, and I'm gonna post a link for that video that I did yesterday. And I was on here with my girl Shauna, which is she's one of the moms in our program. 2 of her daughters are my students, and they are so smart and they're achieving so many great things. One of them just got promoted to a higher level group, and we were on here talking, and she brought up a topic about applying pressure to kids or having high standards, right? And she said there's nothing wrong with having high standards, and she said that people think that means you're pressuring them. So we had a very nice discussion, little chat about that yesterday. But I wanted to get on here and I want to talk about my own kids today. I talk about in the program, and I talk about my kids too, but I'm focusing on my own personal mom experiences, and I have a couple of recent ones. I definitely believe in having high standards for our children, and I also definitely believe in applying pressure when necessary. Okay? I do. And I think that when you understand the purpose of the pressure, when you understand the purpose and you understand the growth process, then you understand that pressure is absolutely necessary. Hey Tim, come on in here. Hey girl, welcome back. We're just spending a little bit on one of the topics that I talked about yesterday about applying pressure. Should we apply pressure to our kids and stuff? So tell me what you think, right? So what I was saying, Tiffany, is that the pressure is part of the growth process, okay? And I'm talking kind of in general, but I want to talk about my own kids so that you can see the recent situation from start to finish. There was some area of growth that needed to happen. I put things in place. I applied pressure because both of my kids are very strong-willed. I wonder where they get it from, okay? And their father is the same. My husband and I are both very strong-willed people, so I know they get it from us, right? But when they're kids, they're not mature enough to use it in the right way, all right? Do I need to say that again? Kids, they can have some of our personality traits, but when they're kids, they're using it to get out of doing things that they really need to do, or to fight rules, or to not listen, or things of that nature. So we have to still, put that structure and guidance for them, so they can mature through it and then use it for something that's going to benefit them. Okay, so with my own kids, I'm going to talk about 3 examples with my own kids where I've had to apply pressure because I knew that this was necessary. And then I saw us go through the resistance, the pushback, the pressure, and then when they realized that mom is serious, I'm not going nowhere, okay? And this is how it's going down when they started to just go along with the program, right? And then the growth that happened from that. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm not just talking theoretically, all right? Oh, what's up, Tiffany? High five to you too, girl. Thanks for coming hang with me today. Hello, Dominique. What's up, girl? Nice to see you too. got a good one for you today, all right? I'm talking about my own kids. I talk about the program all the time. And I talk about my own kids too, because they're in the program too, and I'm my mom. So, you know, I'm talking mom stuff. But we're focusing on my kids today. All right, so we got 3 situations. The first, those of you who know or don't know, we have 2 children. We have Jazzy, who's a teenager. She's 14 years old. And then me and my husband waited 10 years to have our next daughter, who's Maya, and she's 4 years old. Okay? What y'all think about that, Tiffany and Dominique? That little 10-year gap. So we got one that's going into teenage, or in the teenage phase of her life. We know what that comes with. And one that's getting out of the toddler phase of her life. We know what that comes with. So we just in here just making it work, okay? So let me start with Maya. Maya, I'm going to start with something to do with her diet. So, Dominique said, good luck. I know that's right. So Maya was coughing a lot and sneeze. She was very congested. Her nose was always running, and it was like thick and mucousy, and it kept going, right? And you know, right now with COVID, they be telling you to keep your kid home if they got even a sniffle, right? So that kept going. You're like, well, she getting better, but then here she go again. Nose just running and everything, right? So I decided, you know what? Cut out the snacks. Because the truth be told, I'm not the one buying the snacks from the store. That's their daddy. Okay? He's the one that's buying the cookies. You know what I mean? And all that stuff that Maya wants to take for a snack to school. If it was up to me, it'd be totally different ball game. Okay? So she was she want to eat that when she go to school. When she come home from school, she want to eat that as well. You know what I'm saying? Snacks and cookies and this and that. And I'm like trying to get her to eat an apple. I want this and all this other stuff, right? And I know that if she was eating healthier, her nose would keep running, then blowing her nose, and then it's mucousy and stuff. And I'm like, one day I'm like, enough is enough. And I shut it down, honey. I shut it down. And I was like, you drink no more juice, right? No more juice. When you eat, you drinking water, right? Now, is it this forever she can never have juice? No. For moms that, because we got a lot of moms that always want to jump and criticize other moms and say you being too hard on them, or you should let kids express themselves and choose what they want to eat and not force them to eat certain things. Well, I'm here to tell you, I am the mom that will force my kids to eat certain things. I'm going to tell y'all right now, okay? So if you got a problem with that, okay, all right, we can get that out. Now, so I shut it down because I know that juice is not helping her. And I know from experience with her older sister, and I'm going to talk about her in a second, that she was younger, she was born early. And she had a lot of upper respiratory infections all the time. And the doctors didn't know what to do to stop it. And the only thing that stopped it is me changing her diet and me making her drink water every time she woke up in the morning. And when she come home from school, before she go to bed, not too close to bed, but drinking more water, right? So I know that needs to flush it out. So Maya didn't want to drink water in the morning. She wanted juice. She was complaining. She was, I don't care. I don't care. You drinking water. No juice, water. Snack, nope. You gotta have fruit and vegetables, okay? That's what you having. But I don't want this, but I don't like this, and gagging and everything. Kids get all dramatic, like it's so awful, right? Tiffany says, tell me about it. It feels like starting over. My older kids are out the house, but I have a 12-year-old. I know, right? But that gives us a second chance to do some stuff over again. But I'm telling you, a lot of stuff that Maya be trying to throw at me, oh man, I remember that junk. Jazzy did the same thing. I'm like, how is that possible? Okay, we got the same kid, right? So what I did was, I completely took out. You cannot eat this stuff. No, I don't care. And she was upset. She was crying. And no, I did not consider her feelings. And this is going to sound really harsh, but I want to say it that harshly so that it could be a wake-up call for a lot of moms, because we know what's best for our children. But sometimes when we have to make a decision that's best for our children, and they start complaining and crying about it and giving us a problem, we start to think that maybe we are being too hard. Maybe we should hear what they have to say. Maybe we should, yes, I understand you don't want to eat it, but no. No, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. This is what we having. This is what you're eating. This is what you eat. Nope, you may not have it. And then just walk out the room. That's it. But what does that do? The only thing that's doing, we could look at it one way as saying that I'm not considering her feelings. And she's obviously upset. She got expressed to talk about stuff, right? But every day, like every day she got to talk about it. Every day this is so much on her mind. Every day this is bothering her so much. It's hurting her every day. So what I'm doing, if I feed that, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that is going to get most of the attention and focus in her own thinking. That's all she focused on when she come and get in the car when she come home from school. When I go home, can I eat this? Can I eat that? And then can I eat this? Can I eat that? Can I eat this? No, but I want to eat it. Don't even try it. Before you get in this car, I won't hear no complaining. I won't hear no crying. Once you get in this car, put your seatbelt on. And if you have a question, you can answer me after that. When we get home, can I have some cookies? No. I want to hear it. All right? So this is what we're going to talk about instead. So what I'm doing is I'm redirecting her. Because if I didn't do that, every time when she get in the car, she's thinking, only thing I'm focusing on is getting what I want. Cookies, or can we go to McDonald's, or this. Her mind, her thinking is not in the right direction. So am I going to nurture that? Or am I going to totally push that to the side and replace it with something else? So let me tell you what happened. I'm telling y'all this because this is the painful part that a lot of people, where a lot of parents get judged and a lot of parents judge themselves and feel guilty and stuff. I'm going to tell you this part right here. I'm really focusing on this part. So I did not care what she wanted because I know that that's not what she needed. I did not care about if she was going to cry about it because I know that's not what she needed either, to be focused on crying. She needs to be focused on saying, okay, and focus on doing exactly what I tell her to do. So I did not focus on none of that stuff, right? So this is what I did. Tiffany said, that's how I grew up. And I'm glad you said that because, then again, a lot of the focus nowadays is to think of everything that our parents did was wrong. Okay? I'm not saying it was perfect, but parenting ain't perfect. I said that before. Parenting ain't perfect. Okay? But everything our parents did was wrong. And we have to do it completely different, okay? I'm going to talk about that more in another live because I got to get into that, all right? All right? So now it's time to replace it. What did I do? Of course, I replaced her juice with water. As soon as I started replacing her juice with water and having her drink more water, and every time I saw her nose running, I was like, drink water and blow your nose. Nope, drink water. And what Maya likes to do, she likes to talk first before she listens. Don't say nothing. Just go ahead and drink water. And then go blow your nose, right? So it already started working. Now about her diet. We went to the store and we got a bunch of healthy things, right? So we go and sit down. We have a snack time together. And in her little container, there is some pistachio nuts. There's some sliced red peppers, some carrot sticks, and some of those cranberry raisins, right? It's the raisins with the cranberry kind, right? And for me, I had banana chips too because I like them, right? So you sit up there, and I'm not full. Here's the other thing. I'm not like, I just told her, this is what we eating. And I'm not worried about if she like it. She looking all in the bowl to see what she like and what she don't like. I'm not worried about that, okay? What I'm worried about is this is what we eating, and then I'm focusing on something else because I do that all day long, right? I learned how to do that, right? She's sitting there, and we focus on this and everything. Next thing you know, she said, I ran out of pistachio nuts. See, she liked the pistachio nuts, and she wanted to put them in her water bottle. She drank all her water. She wanted to put them in her water bottle and put the top on it so she could make music. So she wanted some more pistachio nuts, and she wanted the shells. So I gave her some of mine. I looked at her container. All the food was gone. And when I say she ate everything, she ate everything. Okay? And she was talking about how good this is. Oh, this is good. This is good. And can I have some more of this? And then, oh, let's get some more food. You know? The next day, same thing. You know what I mean? This morning, this is why I had to get on here and talk to y'all this morning. Because Maya, I taught her much different than what I did with Jasmine. I did everything for Jasmine. okay? Maya, I told her to function independently. She get her own clothes out. She pack her own snack and everything. All right, I'm gonna tell you what happened this morning in a second. I mean, Dominique says, "This is my child. I thought I was the only mom going through this." Girl, that's why we gotta talk. This is why we moms have to talk. We have to connect with each other. Me and you connecting right now, because when we're a mom and we're taking on so much in our house, and we have that mom guilt and blaming ourselves and taking so much responsibility, everything is our fault, we really do feel alone and feel like we're the only ones going through this, okay? But we're not. You know what I mean? But understanding that, you know, and you as your child's mom, you have mother's intuition. You have to trust yourself. You know what I mean? So we connected is good, but also trust yourself and customize how you parent instead of worrying about how everybody else is parenting their kids. That's another thing I'm gonna talk about again more. All right, I got so much I want to talk to y'all about. So this morning, we all getting ready and stuff, and I'm like, "Ma, did you pack your snack?" Because I don't say, you know, I don't pack a snack for her. I told her how to pack a snack a long time ago, and then she's like, "Yeah, I got some carrots." I almost fell down the stairs. I was like, "What?" I was like, and I just froze it. I just looked at her, and I know I was blinking and just like, because you chose carrots. That wasn't even one of the options. As a matter of fact, during this transition, I was focused on her when she come home. That was and that's the thing too, moms, don't try to do everything all at once. That's all I was focusing on. I was focusing on when she came home, her after snack, you know, totally changing that up and making sure she had more raw fruit and vegetables and stuff like that, right? That's what I was focused on. The lunch at school, snack at school, I wasn't gonna worry about. And when I had time, I was gonna teach her how to make some cookies, but that are healthier for her. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I was going to do. So I did not expect that she had a choice between the cookies. There's still the box, a big old box her dad bought of cookies from BJ's. It's still in there. The box in there, and she was going to go in the fridge and get some carrots, right? And I said, you got, I'm all stumbling, and you know, you got carrots for snack? And I was like, how you do that? Because I'm wondering how she packed it. She said, yeah, with a little help from my big sis. That's how Mari talk. Little help from my big sis. That's what she said, right? Because I was wondering if she got a bag. She was getting the little snack baggie, right? She used to use that before, but then she was using a package. I couldn't believe that. And this is what I always tell y'all, with growth is unlimited. When you put the right structure in place, right? First of all, you got to believe in yourself, and you got to, as a mom, this is what I want for my child. This is what I want my child to do. When I meet with moms, I'm always asking, what do you want your child to accomplish? Now, what do you want to do for your child? Because moms are doing enough. Doing more than enough. A lot of times we're doing too much. And our children, when we put responsibility on them, and when we put pressure on them, and we stand our ground, that's when they grow, and that's when they function more independently. So with this situation, yeah, in the beginning it was ugly. When I first told her, when I first had to cut this out, I could be worried about how she's going to react, how she's going to feel, if she's going to be upset, if she's going to complain all the time. I had a plan for that. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Nope, this is not what we do. And I'll just, that's the, when kids are doing it, we have to understand, what is our child thinking in the moment, our children thinking in the moment? What are they thinking? They are trying to use their words to pull you in and get what they want. It's not necessarily, it doesn't really mean anything. It just means you put this new structure in place. I don't like it, so I'm going to complain and whine every day and focus on it to see if you're going to change your mind. I know that. I learned that years ago, and I work with many. I have two of my own, but I've worked with many kids over the years, and they all do the same thing. They all do the same. They may look different from kid to kid, but they all do the same thing. So I understood that that's what she was doing. So I already had a plan for that. I'm just not going to worry about it. And stand your ground and put that pressure. And like, no, this is what we're going to have. Making decisions for your children is good, is a good thing. Of course, we have another space where they can express themselves. They can choose certain things. Like Maya, she chooses her own clothes. And she be looking cute. Okay, she be putting it together sometimes better than what I would have done. She developed her own little style. So it doesn't mean just because you make choices for your kids and just because you tell them no and you stand your ground, that does not mean you're not allowing your child to grow or express themselves. It's quite the opposite. Because the more they focus on doing the wrong thing and fighting, the less they have to grow, space to grow and experience things and feel good about themselves. So what you want? You want to not apply the pressure and let them stay in this spot where they are right now where they're not doing too well? Or you want to push them on out that spot so that they can get to a point where they are experiencing a better life, okay? So that's the first one. That's Maya. So I'm going to switch over to Jassy because I got another Maya example. I'm going to switch over to Jassy. This is a little tougher because she's a 10, okay? So y'all remember that time, it was a couple of months back, where we had to go back to virtual again. Okay, we had to go back to virtual. And the girls were going to be home for 2 weeks. They said 2 weeks, right? So I had everybody set up in the living room because last time with virtual, Jassy didn't do that well, okay? So this time I was focused on putting the structure in place. And I focused on kids function independently. But if there's a need for kids to function independently, the first thing we have to do is master that structure. When we put that structure in place and it's customized, we can step back and then the structure, the kids grow from it and they take it and run down the street. Now it's established. So I know I needed to do that with Jasmine, and that was not pretty. That was not pretty. Let me tell you 2 reasons. One, mom is very strong-willed, okay? Number 2, mom has high standards, higher than what she experiences with everybody else in her school. And I'll talk to you more about that in a second. Number 3, Jassy is very strong-willed. So, yeah. Okay, so that was not pretty. So when I told her, you know, I told her that when and since then she's been in my program and she's much better at this. But when it's time for school to start, I want you logging in. I want you ready and dressed. I want you to have your notebook and your pencil ready 15 minutes early, right? I want your camera on and I want you visible. I want you raising your hand and I want you participating. I want you taking notes. When your teacher's saying something, you better be writing it down. I want to always see that pencil move. Now imagine that. I'm telling her this stuff, I'm running it down. She don't want to hear it. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. I want that pencil always moving. When there's an assignment that's going on during the class, when your teacher says, if you don't finish, you can finish it later or finish it for homework. You're finishing it today. Okay? So your teacher say, if you don't finish, and she know that if I hear that, she's like, oh. Because really, if you're focused on it and you are working the entire time, you should be done. But the only reason the teacher says if you don't finish, you can finish it later because some kids don't finish. So I was telling her, you have to have it done before then. If your teacher says something is done by the end of the week, you're going to have it done before the due date and you're going to check over your work. So I'm like running it down. So again, here come the resistance. She don't want to be there. She don't want to come, and she's like sitting there with the attitude. I was like, I don't care. Let's go. Get it together. Let's go. Hurry up. Okay? Oh, look at the time. You got 1 more minute. That computer better be open. You better be logged in. Okay? Right? I'm running. I'm pointing to my wrist. I don't even have a watch. People still do that. This is the age of the iPhones where everybody look at their phone for the time. But why we still do this? We be like, so I was doing that, right? Right? Oh no, that needs to be done. Keep working. That better be done before. But the biggest thing that Jassy didn't like, I was telling her she had to be in the camera. When I tell y'all that she was the only kid with her face in the camera, the only kid, and she would complain about it like, Mom, nobody else's mom is in the same room. I had them in the living room. I had Jassy in the living room. I had Maya in the kitchen, sitting at the table, and I was looking at both of them. Stay on top. But I know last time with virtual learning with Jassy, she could have done a lot better. Maya, this is her first time virtual learning because she's only 4. So I needed to put this structure in place. Let her know for these next 2 weeks, this is where I want to sit. All right? So she was the only one sitting there. She ain't like that. When it's time to participate, a lot of times, she was the only one saying something. I was like, every time you teach, you better press that click that your hand is raised. You better make sure your hand is raised. You know, you got to participate. That shows the teacher, and the teacher don't want to be sitting there teaching and she asking for interaction and nobody's answering. Teachers ain't like that. But that's what the kids were doing. So I'm going to tell you what the other kids were doing. They would show up late, or they would show up and they would have their camera off. How you know they're paying attention? How you know they could be laying down in their beds, right? They're not taking any notes. They just showing up so they can get credit. Their work wasn't getting done, and it was getting done later or not getting done. Teachers every day, like, yeah, everybody didn't hand in their work from yesterday. I'll give you some more time, but you got to get this in. This is going to affect your grade. Teachers working hard, and I do not believe in teachers working hard for stuff that students are supposed to be doing. So every day, right? Then out of nowhere, the teacher everybody started saying your cameras have to be on. We had a meeting and they're really cracking down, so your cameras got to be on. And our teachers got to work real hard. They getting angry and everything because kids' cameras, they still trying to have their cameras on. But Jazzy had her camera on from the beginning. She was participating from the beginning. She was mad about it, but she was participating from the beginning. She was handling her work from the beginning. When I communicated with her teachers, and I communicated with them the last time, I told them, I said, virtual learning last time, she didn't do the best. So these are my expectations, all right? And this is what I'm making sure happens at home. And I just want to communicate with you so that you know what we're doing, right? Because I believe in communicating with the teacher, and that's what I teach my moms too. And I also work with my students' teachers as well. But we talk about my own kids. So they all knew what was going on, right? When I tell you later, they was telling me how much better Jasmine was doing, how her work has been much better, her participation has been so good. She went from like attitude, she didn't want to do it, to being engaged, raising her hand, feeling excited when she got an answer right, doing all kind of stuff. She started changing. She started really being into it. That's what I mean. Now, because before she wasn't really engaged, she wasn't really benefiting from it, she didn't really enjoy it, it was like an obligation she had to do, she wasn't really into it, she had to do an assignment, okay, I'll do it. Now she's engaged, she's self-motivated. When we put that pressure on kids, we put the structure in place and we guide them to what we want them to achieve. At first they don't understand. How we expect them to understand? I expect them to know how great it's going to be on the other side when they push through all those negative feelings and all that. I don't feel like it, and I'd rather be doing this, and I don't want to log in early. Nobody else logging in early. Nonsense, all of it. So when we put that structure in place and we apply pressure, then after they finish fighting, everybody's happy. Everybody's feeling happy. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the same thing I experienced with my students. Everybody is feeling happy now because look what I'm accomplishing. Look at my grade now. I brought my grade up. And then the teachers are saying, you've been doing really good, Jasmine. Now they're noticing her and they're seeking her out. Okay? All right? So if I had to let Jasmine do it the way she wanted to do it, and I wasn't as strong as I was, because it takes a strong, they're strong will too. If I was like suggesting like, maybe you want to log in early, it's good to log in early, and it's good to, you know what I mean? Have your stuff ready already, and it's good to take notes, because if you take notes, it'd be easier for the test. If I was talking like that, she wouldn't have taken me serious, and she would have thought she had a choice, but she didn't have a choice. This was important for her to do. So I just told her these are the requirements. Why do we as parents feel like we shouldn't have requirements for our kids? Don't they have requirements in school? Don't they have requirements in the workplace? If our kids are going to start their own business, don't they have to have self-discipline? Right? So why do we as parents feel like we shouldn't apply pressure, shouldn't apply structure to our kids and stand our ground? Of course we should. All right? So now, and it still went on. Now I'm still having, I still communicate with her teachers from time to time, and Jasmine is much more invested in her work, okay? Because of those 2 weeks where I started this, okay? And last example, all right? Last example, Maya again. So Maya was in an early learning group, and she's now she got too big for early learning group. So my early learning group is for kids, you know, the youngest baby, my youngest babies, or my lowest level babies. Okay, so I gotta start from scratch with them, teaching them to identify letters and letter sounds and numbers, and that's where we start, right? And counting and things of that nature. But then they go on to learn how to read. And I don't wait for that. We start that right away. But they're learning the sounds as we're going along. And I'm teaching them letter sounds as we are reading, as we are spelling. And then learn how to write sentences, you know what I mean? And then math, adding and subtracting and stuff. But they're also learning how to sit down. They're also learning how to not touch the camera. You know that whole thing that kids do where they don't want to participate, so they press the mute button or the, you know, turning off the camera, stuff like that. So they also learn how to not do that. So it's behavior. Of course, y'all know that it's behavior focused and also academic at the same time, right? So Maya's doing so good. I mean, when I was working with the other kids in the group, she and another one of my students who got promoted a little bit before her, they would be sitting there kind of bored because while I'm working on these sounds and really working to break up this word, they already know the word and they know how to read it. They know how to spell it. They know what the missing letter is, that kind of stuff. So the other student had to be promoted, but she is promoted, but she's much more self-control, self-discipline than Maya. My girl Maya loves to talk like me. She loves to move around. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So she's very smart, but I didn't promote her right away. I told her, this is what I want you to do to get promoted. I need you to don't talk when anybody else is talking, right? And I want you to not touch anything. Don't have anything on your table. Have your pencil in your hand, writing when you need to, right? Her biggest problem is talking with other people talking. That's the biggest problem. But then sometimes she'll turn around in her chair and stuff like that, right? So I kept Maya behind so we could work on that. And at home, I was on top of her, okay? So then she got so excited because I made the announcement. She had a couple of, and she got some high points because she was just there and she was doing her work and she was staying on point. She was participating and she wasn't interrupting people. So that made the announcement. Maya just got promoted to the beginners elementary group. And she's like, oh, she was so excited, right? So now she got promoted and the other kids clapped for her. She got promoted. She's in this other group. She gets to the other group, right? Where it's a little more challenging. And she is like, I'm going to talk more and I'm going to get upset and I'm going to do this and that. And I got on her, got her together and everything. She lost points on her first day, right? Now, I know from in the past with my other students that that's what it looks like when they transition to a more challenging place. Sometimes they regress a little bit, but that's okay. I know how to keep them on track and keep them going and then get back to growing. But I had a conversation with her this morning and I said, Maya, you in the beginners elementary group, I'm so impressed and proud of your writing. You're doing much better in your writing. You're writing neater, right? Your reading is so good and everything, right? Your participation is so good. But mommy's going to be very hard on you. Mommy's going to be very hard on you in the beginners elementary group because I know that you got so much more that you're going to learn. But I know that you also like to talk when you should be paying attention. And sometimes you don't sit right in your chair. So if you talk when you shouldn't be talking, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to shut it down. You may not talk when it's somebody else's turn. When it's time to work, when I say it's time to write, I don't want to hear nothing. All right? And I say, you do any of those things, you're losing points. And if you're not sitting properly in your chair, as soon as you start, you're losing points. All right? So mommy's going to be very hard on you. I'm going to be very tough on you. As soon as you do it, you lose points. Do you understand? She said, okay, Mom. Then she gave me a kiss. Okay? Now, again, people could say, oh, that's kind of tough for a 4-year-old. You know what I mean? But kids move around. That's what they do. They talk. They this and that. But her teacher just complained about it. So I could just say, oh, they're just kids. Or I can, if this is a kid thing, or I can address it at home. And that's what we moms do at the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute. We're going to address it at home so that we can see improvement in the classroom. And Maya, she's already in my program. And in my program, she can't even do that. So I'm going to address it. But when I said this to her, it wasn't about me not understanding where she is as a child or not appreciating that she needs to express herself or she's not able to do it, or bad parenting. I need to do some new parenting method, because I don't believe in parenting methods. Whatever parenting method it is, it's customized between you and your child. That's how I look at it, okay? So it wasn't about that in the moment, because Maya's used to that, and she's used to the outcome. And then when she does really good, how we celebrate, and I'm so excited, I'm so proud of you. That's right, you got this, girl, keep going, you a champion. She's like, that's right, I'm a champion, mommy, I did it, right? She's so used to that she knew that I was doing it to help her. So she just gave me a kiss, and she said, thanks, Mom. And then I said, you're welcome, baby. And then she was like, I just love my family, that's why I keep kissing you, Mom. I was like, okay. Okay, right? And then she went on in school. She know when I get there, it's probably going to take me like a week or two, and then of doing that, and then she gonna be grown, and she gonna be more focused and be able to do a lot more. So yes, applying pressure is important, because in life, let's take away kids for a second. Whenever we as people, let's talk about adults, where we have to grow to the next level. Whenever here, hello, Miss Donette, welcome. I'm wrapping up right now, but hashtag replay on this. I'm gonna review things in a minute, okay? In life, when we want to go to the next level, we have to change some things about ourselves. Sometimes we don't want to change things about. Sometimes it's too comfortable, right? And people actually hire coaches to help them get to that next level. Or you may be wanting to exercise, and then you hire a personal trainer because you know you need somebody to motivate you, right? But our kids need the same thing, because when they become adults, if they learn when they're younger how to accomplish goals and how to get to the next level, and how not to be focused on excuses, right? If they learn that, when they become adults, they'll be better able to accomplish things and have this self-discipline and this growth and achievement mindset. So I absolutely believe in pressure. And I've been in situation after situation, and I've taught so many kids, hundreds of kids over the years, to improve their behavior and improve behaviorally and academically when I became a special education teacher. And it calls for pressure. Okay, it's not going to happen if we don't apply pressure, if we don't have high standards for our kids. And I've been through a situation where kids are pushing back. This is mild stuff, what I'm telling y'all about. But when I was a mental health specialist, and when I was a special education teacher, kids over here cursing and throwing chairs and running out of the classroom and fighting and all this other stuff. And then we get this junk together, we put this structure in place and say, this is not tolerated. If you do this, this is the consequence. So you're going to find another way to express yourself, because we ain't going to have this. Absolutely not. And when they did it, we came down hard on them. And then we helped them replace it with something else. Okay? So this is mild stuff I'm telling y'all about. But I've had more extreme situations with kids, and I've had more extensive transformations over the years to know that when you want a child to grow to the next level, you need a higher standard than where they're operating right now. You need to put the structure in place, and you need to be consistent. And a lot of moms talk to me about that, like having trouble being consistent. And that takes practice. It does. I understand that. But you need to be consistent enough with it. And the consistency is for them to understand that there's no way I could use this anymore. There's no way I could use this way to deal with my feelings anymore. There's no way I could use this to deal with the fact that I'm scared to read this word. I'm scared of getting it wrong. I can't use this right now. I'm not allowed. So without that option, I got to face it head on. And when they start to face it head on, and they start it starts to move along and open up, and they start to experience success, then they keep growing. They're like, oh, I liked it. Okay, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I like this. So yes, apply pressure. So Donette, I talked about Maya. I applied pressure with her because she was not feeling well. And she got better, but her nose was still running all the time. You know, in school that can't happen, right? But COVID and everything, everybody be worried about that, right? So I changed her diet, and I cut out the juice that she had to drink water every day, and drink water, like a lot of water. And since then, her nose stopped running. She's much better. She's not coughing at night. She's not waking up with her nose like in mucus and inflamed. All that other stuff, it was taken care of, right? But of course, when I first changed her diet, she wasn't happy. She was trying all the time to complain about it and get me to change, and oh, it's not fair, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I didn't allow her to take a lot of time to focus on that. And then she started eating. I started giving her the healthier foods and snacks, and she started loving it. And this morning, she asked for carrots for her snack. Okay? When she had the choice to go get a pack of cookies, all right? Then I talked about my oldest daughter, who's 14 years old, who, when we had the recent virtual learning experience where the kids had to stay home for 2 weeks, Jazzy didn't do that good the last time we had virtual learning. So I set up a very tight structure, and if you watch the replay, you'll see everything that I expected from her. And I told her that, and I was very strong about it, and I told the school that too. That's what I expect from her. So she didn't have nowhere to go. Okay, she didn't have no wiggle room. She didn't like it at first, but that helped her improve in her studies, and it also helped her improve in getting her work in on time and the quality of work. And her teachers started to notice her and everything. She started to feel good about it, right? Okay, so but it was tough because I was tough on her and she didn't like it, but I didn't care because I know. I know what's on the other side. So as a mom, I don't worry about tantrums. I don't worry about not wanting something or being upset about something, whatever. Like, sometimes you can explain to kids all day and night why it's important for them to do what you want them to do. But after you explain it, and even if you go through that length and explain everything, if they really don't want to do it, they only going to find a way to ask you more questions complain about it. So they don't really realize the benefit of it until they listen, and then they get the benefit on the end. So I know that that's going to happen. So I don't worry too much about the resistance or the being angry about it or whatever. I don't care. It's about moving forward, doing what you got to do. This is how it is, and I'm not accepting anything else, okay? And then the last example was of Maya, who got too big for the early learning group, and I promoted her to the beginners elementary group. Now she's 4 years old, and she's in that group already, which is really for kindergartners up until 5th grade, who are struggling really with the basics of learning sight words and writing sentences and stuff like that. And then they get promoted to an advanced group once they master the foundation, right? But she's in that group already. She's in that group because she got too big for the early learning group. So academically, she was learning how to read, write sentences, spell, count, add, count by 5s, count by 10s. That's what I teach them too. All this other stuff, and that helps them for multiplication later to understand that. So I teach them, she's learning all that stuff way faster, and another student way faster than 2 other kids in the group. So I promoted them so I can customize it. But she grew in that area, but when it comes to talking, when it's somebody else's turn, she didn't grow in that area yet. She was doing better, but she still was doing it, which is getting in the way of her academic growth. So that, and then moving around in her chair or laying down and all this other stuff. So I had a conversation with her, and like I said, if you do the replay, I talk about exactly the conversation I had with her, okay, about it and what I plan to do about that. And yes, I'm going to apply pressure because she don't need to hang on to this for the rest of the school year, for next school year. And then 1st grade and 2nd grade and 3rd grade, the teachers are saying that she talked too much in class, or she gets distracted, or maybe she needs medication. I'm not trying to have that, okay? That's not going to happen. We're going to deal with this now, all right? So those are my 3 examples. I want to encourage y'all moms to, like I said before, trust yourselves. Trust yourselves. And believe in, determine what you want your child to accomplish, and believe that you can have it. You know what I'm saying? There's always a way, and I believe that in life, whenever there's a problem, there's always a solution for it. Okay? It's a problem until it's not a problem. Okay? And I'm a fanatic about finding solutions to problems and keeping on it until it's done. That's not just in my work. That's how I am with everything. We could talk all day about my personal, what I've been doing with myself, my kids and everything. But that's how I am. Anyway, okay? Oh, I forgot to tell you, with Maya, and the same thing. Jazzy had upper respiratory problems, and I did the same thing with her. I changed her diet, and I was very natural. She was having fevers all the time. She was having upper respiratory infection. She was back and forth to the doctor all the time, back and forth to Walgreens. I just had enough. And she fought, and she wasn't happy about all the changes I was making. But Jazzy is so healthy right now, it's ridiculous. Even if other people in the house get sick, she won't get sick. Or it's once in a while, if she gets sick, it's like 2 days later. She is so, and she was born early. She was in a hospital in the incubator in NICU for a month. But she's so healthy because at that time when she was little, around Maya's age, and I decided that I was going to get this together, I believed in myself, and I didn't just do what the doctors were telling me about this medication. And I was like, this is what I want. I want her to not need this. I don't want her to need to wear a mask, when she starts to coughing and everything is good for asthma. I don't want that for my child, right? So this is what I want, and I did not back down. And she hated it. But now, Jazzy drinks water like crazy every day. Jazzy make a salad for herself in a minute. She always eating healthy. You understand what I'm saying? She goes and she seeks these things out. But it wouldn't have been that case if I didn't totally change when she was younger, take certain things out and say, this is what we eating. Period. Okay? So, I had y'all here long enough, but I just wanted to share with y'all. Just expand on me and Shauna was talking yesterday and chatting together. Again, I'm going to put the link to that one, the top 6 reasons why my students are so successful. The students are so successful in my program. I'm going to add the link there so you can click on that and watch that from yesterday. About and the part when we're talking about applying pressure to kids, and a lot of moms being unsure about applying pressure, and when we push too much and our kids start hollering, crying, complaining, and other people around telling us what we should do instead, making us feel like we need to parent with our hands behind our backs, or second guessing ourselves all the time, or we think that we are doing the wrong thing and it's going to affect our kids later. Cut out all the noise. Do what you feel is best. Master your child's behavior cycle and master the growth and learn what it looks like so that you know on the other side, as Maya told me the other day, there's a pot at the end of the rainbow. It's pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's what it's going to look like. So whatever it looks like right now is temporary. You got this, all right? You got this. I love y'all so much. That's why I had to keep coming on here and talking to y'all, because I want all moms to feel like you got this. And if you make a mistake, dust that stuff off and grow from it and keep it moving, right? Parenting ain't perfect. It doesn't mean you're a bad mom. You know what I mean? It just means that, like in life, I was trying this, this didn't work yet. Let me tweak it and then do this with it. Okay, now it's working. That's all that is. That's all that is. You don't have to be perfect. It's not going to look perfect. But what I want you to do is make sure that you value yourself enough to know and understand your role in your child's life, that you are there from start to finish, and you have to be a strong foundation. People come and go. Professionals come and go, and they lend a hand and they contribute. But you have to be comfortable and okay with everything, and you have to stay on it, okay? You got this, all right? All right, y'all. So I'm going to run. I got some work to do. Maya's picture day is tomorrow, and I thought it was on the 8th, and I looked at the paper again, and I was like, so I'm ready to run to the store. See? See? I'm ready to run to the store because we wanted to get her a new outfit. So I'm going to run to the store, and then I have some final consultation, some action plans to do for some moms who are enrolling their kids into my program coming up in the next couple of weeks. And also I got my students today coming. My students coming, my new group. I have another group, math group slot that I had to open up because one of my students can't attend a regular time because she lives in Las Vegas, and that's a 3-hour difference. So I got that coming up too very soon. So it's a lot going on. But I want to come here and talk to y'all. Believe in yourself. Don't doubt yourself. I want to thank Tiffany for coming to hang with me today. It's always nice to see you. And Dominique, same thing. I can't wait to talk to y'all again. And I hope everything's going well. You're having a great week, enjoying the weather, okay? Because I am. Except yesterday it was too cold. But the day before that, it was really nice for me. And Darnett from Jamaica, I told Kevin yesterday, because you know his family's from Kingston, Jamaica. He was born here. And I'm like, look, I want to go to Jamaica, okay? I just want, when we going? Because I want to go there and I want to eat some fruit, okay? Because I know it tastes so good. I'm ready, okay? So Darnell representing from Jamaica. Tell my champ I said hi, all right? Dominique, tell my champ I said hi too, all right? All right, I love y'all, and y'all have a beautiful day. Believe in yourself, believe in your child, honey, and always remember that growth is unlimited.